Hi, welcome to Healthy Food, Happy You. This is Naskah Zada. Today we are hosting Florence Carter, a personal chef. Welcome.
Thank you.
How
Thank you
are
for
you?
having me. Very good. How are you?
What are we cooking today? We already started.
We already started cooking the quinoa that we're going to use for the lentils.
Okay.
We are going to make a lentil dish. Today we're going to be using the French lentils, but there's many other kinds of lentils that people use. The red lentils, the green lentils, and all of them can be cooked in many different ways with many different spices and different flavorings in it. From ginger to curry to saffron to a bunch of different things that you can combine and get very creative with. The one thing that I love about lentils is that they're very high in protein, and combined with the quinoa, which is also very high in protein, makes a wonderful dish that will provide you with a lot of energy and nutrition all in one place.
Okay, and it's good protein, definitely. Can you show me what you have? There's a lot of colors on the table. I really like that.
Absolutely. First, here in the front, we have the three different kinds of lentils that I work the most with. The green lentils, the orange lentils, and the French lentils. The French lentils are the ones that I prefer because they have a thicker skin. So when you cook them, they don't dissolve as easily. The green lentils require less cooking time because they have a thinner skin than the French ones. And the red lentils pretty much become like a soup, in a matter of like minutes. They're very quick cooking. Other things that I have there with them, which are other things that I cook a lot with the quinoa or brown rice, are the black beans and the garbanzo beans. The brown rice is a great complement for the lentils, any kind of lentils as well, and many other grains that we use in our cuisine in Latin American countries and many other parts of the world. Right here, what we have are carrots, diced tomato, diced butternut squash that we're going to roast in order to mix with the lentils and the quinoa at the end. The red peppers and the onions. The onions I put pretty much on everything. I use onions and garlic for everything, to season the quinoa, to season the lentils, and then a little bit of garlic on the vegetables when I roast them. So it's like my three things: the garlic, the onions, and the oregano are my best friends when it comes to cooking.
Great, and we already started the dish. Can we see how long and what do we need to
the quinoa is already cooking. What we did is we put a little bit of olive oil in the pan, then we stir fry some onions, then we added the quinoa, which was already pre-washed and prepared, and we added some water. Usually it calls for 1.5 cups of water for each cup of quinoa, but I like to put 2 cups of water so it gets a lot fluffier. And what we have here right now is that it's cooking, and as you can see, it looks like little volcanoes right there.
And smells good already before even we put spices.
Yeah, so basically right now it's in the process of just getting dried out, and it's gonna get fluffier, and with the steam it's gonna finish the cooking process afterwards. So we're gonna put that aside and we're gonna start on the lentils.
Okay.
The base for the lentils that I use is the usual onions, celery, carrots, garlic, red peppers. We're gonna use some of the red peppers as the roasted thing, but also tomatoes. You can be creative with whatever you wanna use.
Because I cook my lentils just simple. I don't put veggies.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
This
well,
is a
the
good
veggies
idea.
that you put in them as you're cooking them are going to add more flavor to them because the flavors of the veggies are going to get infused into the lentils as they're getting in, breaking down through the process of cooking. So it's actually a lot more, to add to it, but without having to add too many, other ingredients that are not natural or spices. I love spices, and I love using different ones from different parts of the world, even though I'm not an expert on their cuisine, just to experiment to see what it turns out like. And then if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then I try something new. So let's move this to this side. And we are going to add first the onions.
Always the onion first is the base of your
The onions
cooking.
I like to cook slowly instead of burning them. And this is about 2 cups of onions here that I diced. It can be a large onion or 2 small ones, and you can play with it depending on what flavors you want. There's no exact science on how to use it or where to use it. Then the garlic, I used a whole head of garlic.
Oh, smells good. Garlic smells
And I'm gonna
good.
save a little bit of the garlic to roast the vegetables with.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a whole head of garlic that I processed, and we're gonna add the carrots.
Okay, and how much is it, the carrots?
The carrots are, here I have 5 carrots.
5 carrots.
Yes.
Okay, so what's next for us?
Well, now we're gonna chop the celery. The celery is one of my favorite vegetables to cook,
Okay.
to add to the meals. It adds a lot of flavor. A lot of people get confused or intimidated by celery because it has a lot of layers, and you know they think that they're wasting a lot of stuff, but it's actually wonderful to use. We're gonna chop some of it here.
Okay.
It comes in a big bundle like this, and then you have all the different layers. Here at the bottom, you always have a little bit of dirt accumulated in it, and this part right here is very leafy. A lot of people waste that, but I save it and I make broth with it.
Okay.
It adds a lot of flavor when you make a big big pot of broth. You can just add it with the onions and other vegetables that you're making it with, and it adds a lot of flavor.
I
So-
always use that part too.
Yeah.
I freeze it or do something later.
Yeah, I do too. So I cut the tops off
Okay.
and the bottoms, both of them. And then I put them aside. And then same thing for this ones. We take the tops off.
Okay.
And you can also use those parts for smoothies. A lot of people use them for juices and for smoothies and
Definitely.
things like that. So it actually gives you a lot of flexibility. Then I just slice it like this. And when you're using it for stews or soups or anything like that, the dicing and the pieces don't have to be even. You know, they can be basically all different sizes because they're gonna render down inside of the soup, and it's not going to be a part of the presentation of the dish.
Oh, okay. How much celery would you use? A cup or?
For the amount of lentils that we're using, we're gonna use about 5 celery sticks,
Okay.
which will give you approximately 3 cups maybe. So it's not, I don't measure a lot of things when I cook. I cook a lot by eye, so it's really hard for me to sometimes say, when people ask me, can you give me the recipe for this? I usually say, yes, I can give you the list of ingredients, but not the exact recipe because I don't cook
don't
with
measure.
recipes for the most part, yeah.
Florence, you're a personal chef. What is that?
A personal
How
chef
would you describe that?
It's a person that makes your life easier.
Okay.
They come to your house and they cook a lot of meals.
I
that you
already
can-
like you.
There you go. They we cook a lot of different meals for you, and then you can either eat them throughout the week or 2 weeks, whatever time you want them, or you can freeze them and pull it out as you please. The style of cooking that I do is mostly comfort food, comfort healthy food that people can eat either on their own or you can use them as a base for doing other things. Most of the stuff that I make for my clients I have in my freezer and complement with things that I have in my pantry. So if anybody shows up out of nowhere to come for a meal or they come for a visit and it becomes a little more extended, then I can just make something with it and have everybody over for dinner without even planning it because it's all in my freezer. So
Now we
or
put
in
those
my
guys
fridge,
in
yeah.
there.
We add the celery, and then after we add the celery, we stir them a little bit.
Okay.
Make sure it's not sticking too much.
Yeah.
And
Sticking a little bit.
yeah, but the celery is actually going to release the natural water that it has in it, and that actually helps to deglaze the onions and the garlic that might get a little stuck in there. So it actually becomes more part of the flavor as well. We're going to add some oregano,
Oh, it smells
like
good.
about 2 tablespoons of oregano, a little bit of salt, pepper.
Black pepper. Yeah.
Yeah, black pepper is my best friend. Love black pepper. I have never been able to get used to the flavor of the white pepper. I've used red pepper, green pepper, but the white pepper I don't use very much in my cooking. Mostly black pepper is what I use. Then we're gonna add the tomatoes. And the lentils. mix them all, and it's kind of like you're coating the lentils and the rest of the vegetables and everything together, and that way you're mixing the flavors into everything. You know, the onions, the garlic, the celery, the carrots, everything that you put in there, it becomes one big happy family.
They look very happy and smells good.
We're gonna start dancing. Then we just add some water. And basically what we want to do is just cover them with water.
Okay. And the water is, it's according to the softness of the lentil if you want. Like how much do you put?
How much water I put?
As much
It's
as
just to cover them. And then as they cook, if the water becomes not enough, you can add some more.
Okay.
The more water you put at the beginning, the better, because the water becomes like the broth of it, and it absorbs all the flavors of the things that you're cooking in there. So if you put a lot of water towards the end, then that water is not going to have as many flavors to cook the lentils with, but it's just going to become more like a natural ingredient.
Our soup almost ready. We put all our ingredients almost, and then what's next? What are we gonna
We'll let it boil and simmer and cook itself, and we're gonna check on our quinoa to see how the quinoa is doing.
Let's do that.
Because it's been resting for a while after we took it off the
Oh, look at that.
heat, and now it's
all fluffy.
Yep, it's all fluffy. It's all cooked, and you can see it all in. You can see the little pieces of onion and
And the onions
exactly.
adds to that.
Yeah, all the different flavors and aromas that come out from the seasoning. It's very important.
Oh, this kitchen smells good today.
All right, so we're gonna set it back outside, and we are gonna start roasting our vegetables now. So we have here the butternut squash, the red peppers, the little bit of garlic that we saved at the end. We're gonna add some olive oil to it.
Okay.
We're gonna add some salt and pepper and oregano as well. So we incorporate the same flavors of the lentils into the veggies, and it enhances them. Now we are going to cut the asparagus. Usually my marking place is where the little rubber band is from when you get them at the store.
Okay, great.
Then these we're gonna cut in little pieces that are similar to the size of the pieces that we already have for the other vegetables, because that way the cooking time for all of them is gonna be the same while they're roasting. There.
They're almost ready.
Yep, they're almost ready. We're gonna move them here. And then we're gonna incorporate them to the rest of the veggies and coat them with the olive oil and the spices that we put in. There we go. See, you have all the beautiful colors together.
Beautiful.
And you just mix them in. You want to make sure that all of them have a lot of olive oil and that they're evenly coated, because what the oil does is that it sears the vegetable with the high temperature of the oven, and then it cooks the inside of it without breaking it down too much.
You're right. They're almost dancing in there. You say they're gonna be
They are
dancing.
beautiful. So we're gonna use the baking pan.
Okay.
And here, this is a non-stick baking pan, so you don't really need a lot of oil, but this is gonna help sear the vegetables in from the bottom part of the veggies as well.
Okay.
So we're gonna put these ones in here.
And we already have the oven preheated.
Yeah, we already have the oven preheated at 375.
Okay.
So it's gonna sear them quickly as soon as we put them in. And we wanna make sure that we have them all in one layer, so they all cook at the same time. See?
Beautiful.
All right, so now we put them in the oven. And let them cook.
Oh, great. While we wait for this to cook and the soup to be ready, the other day I came to the studio, I made some juice. Recently, I got into the fresh veggies and fruits juice. Let's watch together. Hi, this is Naskah Zada. Today I'm going to be showing you and sharing with you how to make fresh juice. The ingredients, very simple yet very healthy and delicious. What I'm going to be showing you, my first juice, is from some greens, an orange, a banana, some pineapples, and mango. Let's start making the juice. What I use, I always use my greens as base, and you can use different kind of greens. You can use lettuce if you want, and I normally put half of my base as a green because I like the healthy, delicious greens, and it's really good. It's about that much. And you can use, like I said, you can use spinach or any kind of green, cucumbers, whatever you prefer. My second ingredient is always banana. I love like using bananas in my juices because it gives it nice texture, and when you drink it, you feel it. It's like it tastes really much better with banana. Okay, here's banana, and then I'll use some of the orange. Let me cut my orange. I don't know about you guys, but I love oranges. Probably I eat like 3 oranges a day. Let me cut my orange and use it in my juice. Okay. Oh. Oops. Let's see. Oh, it smells good. It's really juicy and very nice orange. And a lot of times I try to get some organic oranges if I can find good ones in the markets, especially the farmer markets. Okay. Then I'll use some of mango. Mango is very delicious and sweet, and it gives it the sweetness you like, or I like normally in my juices, because I grew up liking a lot of sugar, and I finally found out about mangoes that gives it so much natural sweetness to my juices that I don't need to use sugar anymore. There's some mango. I always have problems cutting mangoes. I don't know why, even though I've been using them for a while in my juices. There we go. The colors looks really nice. And then I'll put some pineapples. They're also very sweet and gives it nice sweetness to it. I really like the colors. As you can see, it's really beautiful, and also smells good too. I'm gonna use some water, about half. Just, you can use any kind of water if you like. Let's see. I normally use a little bit more than half because I like my juice to be like the texture not to be so thick, so I drink it easier if I do that. Now we have all the ingredients in here, and we have some water. We can start actually blending it and making the juice. Cannot wait, because I've been juicing for about 2 years, but every time I make my juice, I absolutely cannot wait to drink it because it tastes so good and delicious, and yet gives me a lot of energy. I'm gonna blend it. You saw it how juicing is so simple and easy and fresh. You can do it from fresh ingredients. You don't have to buy canned or other sweetened juice, and you can make it so simple, like 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes in my case. Let's try it, see how it tastes. It tastes so good. And I also have to mention that I do juicing at least twice a day. In the morning when I wake up, instead of coffee, I'll just make some fresh juice and drink it, and it gives me energy. And then in the afternoon, when around 2 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I need some energy. I need to do something to drink coffee or I need some caffeine, actually I take some juice with me to work, and I drink some freshly juiced, and then it gives me some energy for afternoon kick. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that small segment about juicing and fresh vegetables and fruits. Florence, I know our soup almost ready, and we're almost ready to taste this delicious food. But before that, I would like to ask you why you started cooking more healthier food.
Well, first of all, the way that you eat, you are what you eat. The healthy foods, the lack of animal products, the lack of extra fats and other things actually are proven to reduce a lot of the diseases, including cancer, epilepsy, and other ones that have affected a lot of my loved ones. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, and the first thing that she did was cut out all the sugars, all the white carbohydrates, all the animal products from her diet, and that has contributed to the success of her recovery and her health during all the treatments that she's getting done as well. Also, epilepsy is believed to reduce its effects because of the diet. If you modify your diet to a very healthy diet, it actually helps control the number of seizures that people have, and that is what my husband passed away from. There's a lot of loved ones that I have in my life too who are at very high risk of diabetes, and that is something else that gets reduced with what you eat. So healthy eating is definitely something that contributes to the benefit of the health of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you have a child, he's 8.
Yes.
And how do you make children eat healthier? Because there's so many...
Make it fun. Make it fun.
How would you do it?
Make it a game. Make it a game and a challenge, Say, hey, how about you try this today? And I bet you cannot try this, or that if you try it, probably you like it and you're gonna love it. And just make it fun, make it a game. Try to pick the little things that they like in the foods that they eat and incorporate them in the new things that you're introducing. That way they have a familiar taste in it that they can relate to, and then transfer from there. It's very surprising sometimes we don't give them enough credit to what they could eat or even cook for themselves. My son loves making me sandwiches for Mother's Day, and that's his treat to me. He wakes up in the morning and he makes me a grilled cheese sandwich, which is my favorite one. So he, he's very motivated by the little things that he sees me do on a daily basis that sometimes we don't notice that they are.
Florence, I think our veggies ready. Do you want to check on them?
They are definitely almost ready. So let's mix the quinoa with the lentils first, and then we'll get the vegetables and add them at the end, okay?
Okay.
The quinoa, it's already fluffed and ready to go. We'll just add it onto the lentils that we already have in the bowl. This bowl I love. The bigger the bowl, the better, because you can mix them a lot easier when you have them there. And what I like to do is fold them.
Why is that?
Just to mix them.
Mix them better. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah. And now the veggies. Let's check on them. Yeah, they're done. All the colors, and you can see some of the butternut squash that are already caramelized, and we just add them to our dish.
Smells good.
Then we gently mix them together because we don't want to break the vegetables and make it look like something different. You want to keep them together and even. There.
Great, looks good.
Perfect. So now we can serve it into a bowl, or we can plate it in our plates, and it's done.
We finished making a delicious, healthy, colorful dish. now with Chef Florence. Chef Florence, that was really fun to make, and it's very healthy and colorful. If I want to find a personal chef like you, where's the information? Where do I find?
I do have a page on Facebook under Florence Carter Personal Chef, and all my information is there. My telephone number, I have a lot of pictures of different dishes and food that I have cooked in the past, and as I cook them at home or for my clients, I post the pictures there and give people ideas, and you know, if they want me to come and help them in their houses, I can definitely do it as well. But it's a very interactive place, and with the pictures of the food and everything, it gets a lot of people inspired.
Do you have other recipes similar to this one?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you like to share them?
With your imagination and creativity, the sky's the limit. You can add anything from Spanish sweet paprika to cumin, saffron, to any of the stuff that we made today, and make several variations of it. You can also use different types of lentils or make it with rice instead of the quinoa. So whatever your imagination desires, you can try it, and if it works, you can make it again. If it doesn't, then you go back to the basics. It's definitely a very fun dish to do, and it's very useful as well because lentils freeze very well. So you can actually make it in advance, keep them in your freezer, and pull them out in a pinch when you need them.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. But before we leave, we need to try this.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's do this. So good. Delicious.
I'm glad you like it.
Great.
It's fresh, tasty, and you can feel all the ingredients from all the
Definitely.
different dishes combined together.
Definitely. This is it for Healthy Food, Happy You. Hope to visit us again, and don't forget to go to Facebook page or our website. Until next time, this is Naskah Zada. Goodbye.